of this is scripted. I'm just trying to remember some things that were in my last video that you can't see anymore. That I think I'll just refilm it and explain what it means. Anyway, if you see something that I didn't explain or I didn't explain well, just put it in the comments. I'll try my best to respond. Good morning. You're back. Hi. Hi, everybody. Is there someone new back there? You've never been here before? Oh, well, welcome. I'm Polly. Welcome to my poop show. You guys that have been here before, did you see my last episode? Well, if you haven't, it's too late now. You might notice, maybe you noticed by now, I privatized it. I'll tell you why. Well, I went to bed the night before I filmed that, telling myself, okay, in the morning I'm going to film all of my milking cows and feeding calves. It's going to be a great video. After my nose was plugged up, didn't think much of it. Woke up in the morning and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I got a head cold. But you know what, the show goes on. Well, throughout the morning I just felt worse and worse. And my battery started to die, and I didn't have my charger. You guys were fading fast. So finally, I just called it. I didn't even get to the cleanup part, or feeding calf. We fed one bottle calf. I'm telling you all this right now because it's about to get loud in here, and I'm going to have to be kind of picky and choosy on what I want to yell about over the noise. Because I'm not really sick anymore, but it evolved into bronchitis, and I'm doing okay, but if I start ranting too much, I'm going to start coughing. So what was I talking about? So I cut my video off kind of short, and I was like, maybe I'll just film some random things around home for the next few days. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, you know, I was so sick, you guys. We made chicken soup. I thought, I gotta pick my pumpkins, so we went out and looked at the pumpkins, and I was like, I don't even feel like picking those. The main thing that I've been having to do lately when I'm not here at the farm is harvesting my special plants out of my greenhouse. So in a 36-minute long video, oh yeah, and then, got to tell you, in the middle of my few days of recovery at home, one of the dogs died. It was an awful video. It was horrible. I gotta get all these, this is the first set of cows, the milk 12 at a time. I don't have time in this video, you guys. I'm gonna show you my bean soup. So we're gonna be not talking about every single cow here and every single step of the process. But I'm gonna get the machine started up in a second, and I'd like to have this first set of cows all washed off and ready to put on. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, it was just an awful video, and I rewatched it a few times, and the more I did, the more I didn't like it. I tried to have something be positive in it. The last 3 minutes of like a 37-minute long video was starting to harvest in my greenhouse. I thought I kept it pretty tasteful, I didn't say anything too offensive. I didn't even call it what it, it's medicine, you guys. It's medicine. Well, you two had a problem with it, and they put a restriction on it, and nobody was viewing it. And I thought, you know what? I don't know if having a video up on my channel that has restrictions on it could hurt my channel somehow in the future. So I'm just going to privatize it. The only reason why I didn't delete it completely was because I happened to have a scene in the morning that had the dog that's no longer with us. It was the last time that I had filmed her. I didn't know in that scene that would be the last time. So I don't want to delete that video entirely. So we're back here at the farm. We're going to milk some cows. I'm going to tell you about a few things that you may have seen in that video that I just didn't feel like explaining very well. If you're a dairy farmer, you can probably figure it out. But you might wonder, why was that one cow steady just spraying all over the place, all willy-nilly? Like, I'll tell you about why she does that. Why some of these cows only have milk coming out of 2 quarters. Why some are wearing bracelets, which milk we feed to the calves. It's pretty early, you guys. We've been getting started earlier on chores than usual because of that particular type of harvest season that I've been telling you about. In case you didn't know, I don't own this farm. I've lived and worked here for 12 years. The owner, he works now a little ways further down the road at a commercial, that type of farm, to keep his family farm here running. So in the meantime, here I am. Apparently, I'm the best he's got to milk cows and feed cows. So that's why I'm here. That's what we're gonna do. See that? Those 2 bracelets here, they're red. That tells me she had mastitis. Well, she's not being treated for it anymore, and we can test the milk for, bacteria and abnormal levels of cells. And it's not quite good enough for the bulk tank, but it's good enough for the calves. So there's her and 2 other ones that are like that. There's no visible chunks of mastitis. Her milk looks normal here. There you go, see? Look, perfectly fine milk, no chunks in that. So when you see bracelets like that, if they're getting medicine, it does not get fed to the calves. It's really early. If you've been following my channel, you know I don't always talk in my videos, because sometimes when it's really early or I'm a little medicated, I just kind of ramble, and then all my content is just like us sitting here on the floor talking about things. But I want to show you some things too, so we got to keep her moving. So out of this first set, her with bracelets, she's the only one that's really special. So you're going to see me pinch the jar, as we say, to keep it from going into the bulk tank, and then I'm going to drain it into a larger bucket. And after all the cows are milked, we're going to go out into the barnyard and make our rounds with the calves, giving them their milk. Don't forget to pinch the jar. I don't have time to be that organized in my head to plan tutorials. In some of my videos, I don't talk at all. And when I do talk, I don't always explain things that well. Oh look, I forgot to tell you, that's the new mama. Yeah, she's half Highland, half Ulster. Anyway, if you see something that I didn't explain or I didn't explain well, just put it in the comments. I'll try my best to respond. Okay, here's the new mama. When she came in last night, she gave no milk. Like literally, like, you're gonna get stepped on. Unusual. Look how nice she is. Sometimes the heifers come in and they're all creepy and scary, especially when they're half islands for some reason. But she's really sweet. She doesn't seem to mind any of this. She gave like half a cup of milk, which was okay because she had been with her baby all day and her baby wasn't hungry and didn't want to eat. So this morning, I hope she makes a little bit more milk, at least enough to fill a bottle for her baby. Oh, hey! No, you done yet? You're not making any milk, Mama. Put it back on one more time. See if we can squeeze out a little bit more. Yeah, that should be enough for a bottle. Oops. And she's done. It just falls off or comes off when it senses that she's empty. These three mastitis, they're going to get more milk than I really need. So once I divvy out what's needed to the calves, there's going to be extra, and I'm just going to dump that down the poop river. I'm going to try to mind my manners and not cuss so much. Maybe some people don't like that. I'm sorry. I just live in a part of the world where certain words that you might think are bad, they're not really like bad words here. You just grow up hearing it so much. You kind of, you say it without thinking. I'm going to rinse out the milker with a little bit of water, just in case she's got any contagions that could give the next cow mastitis. Probably not, but better safe than sorry. Put it in the milk house in bigger buckets of hot water to keep it warm. I never ever wanted to be a vlogger, for as much as I like watching other vloggers on YouTube. Like, wow, I really admire how they can do that. Just walk around and talk about what they see and what they're doing. I'm a little too awkward for that. I prefer to make videos where, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Where you feel like you're watching a really weird TV episode. So don't get used to all my explaining. I don't do this every time. That blue stuff you saw me wash them off with has peroxide in it. This stuff, I know I said I'm going to mind my manners, but I'm just too much in the habit of calling this titty dip to start calling it anything different now. This titty dip is peroxide. It creates like a little seal over the tip of their teat. Helps prevent bacteria from getting up in there during the rest of the day in case they sit in something nasty. Have a good day. Good job. Up, 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 up. Good job. That's where we were. Now we're in the holding pen, bringing in the second set of calves. There's the bull. See? That new bull, I told you about him a few episodes ago. We put him in a different field because he wasn't doing the bull stuff that he was supposed to be doing. And then Farmer Joe said, you know what? I think he's been acting a little spunkier. Oh. Yeah, that happens sometimes when, hey! You don't want to go in? Come on. Hey! Sometimes, if they're in heat, other females will act weird. Anyway, the bull's back in with the herd. Long story short, Farmer Joe was like, he's been acting a little spunkier out in that field with the older calves that we put him in. And so we're gonna try to put him back in the milk herd and see if he does what he's supposed to be doing. And yeah, I seen it a few times. Come on, you guys. They're not used to me out here talking to somebody else while I'm supposed to be telling them where to go. And so they're... Here we are. It's been so cold in the mornings, and I do not like it. It's been like 30 degrees. And the coat that I wanted to wear had egg sacs on it. So I left it in the garage, and some stupid spider laid eggs on it. And I don't like spiders at all. So I'm going to take care of that later. No, I couldn't just wipe it off. No, it's got to... So that's why I'm wearing this insulated raincoat. I really need both my hands here. We'll come back when there's another cow out of the ordinary. I'm trying to think of, in my last video I showed little random scenes, but I didn't explain any of it. Now I'm like, well, I'll just refilm that since I gotta get rid of that last video. I'll make this one even better by telling you about, why you saw what you saw there. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this, me trying to explain things is just stupid and you guys are laughing at me right now. Because you're like, that's the weirdest farmer and blogger I've ever seen. She don't know what she's talking about. Yes, I do. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. I'm just not good at doing it and talking to you about it at the same time. That's why my videos don't usually look like this. Yeah, she's got a bracelet too, but it's just one. It's not two skinny ones. It's just one wide red one. That means her front left quarter is bad, always, forever. She had mastitis in it a long time ago, and even though it was treated, something about that quarter just shriveled up and stopped making milk. That happens. So we just don't milk that quarter. There's another bad one back there. That'll go, when I say bad, I mean that. How dare you feed bad milk to your calves? It's just been the scientific method here for like 50 years. That's how they do it. The calves are fine. It doesn't give them diarrhea or anything bad like that. My goodness, what was I doing? Second of 5 sets of cows. Now that I've got those 3 bad mamas out of the way, the newest mama out of the way, I'm hoping the rest of chores, I'm just going to fly through them. If you've been here before, you've seen it all before. I'm sorry, I'm not good at explaining things. see a specific detail of milking, let me know. I'll try to film it. If you're confused about something, let me know. I'll try to explain it in the comments, maybe in a future video. What else was I going to tell you about? This is how we test them, just to know if the milk is good enough to go in the bulk tank. You got this thing with your 4 quarters. You squirt from each quarter of the cow into here. So you got milk in there. And then this little magic purple juice. You just boop, 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 boop. Like, just a little squirt in each one. And then you swirl it. And you go like this. And if there's bacteria, too much bacteria, any weird cells in there, it'll turn to like a jelly. If the milk is normal, it stays like a liquid. And that's how we know. Huh? You want a demonstration? I don't have time for that. You just have to believe me. Yep. This is my life. Every morning, every other night, sometimes every night, because it's harvest season. Over at that other farm, where Farmer Joe, he's the manager there. So I've been having to milk a little bit more than I usually do. Huh? Oh, you want to know why there's no jar here? It broke a long time ago. And these types of jars, they stopped making them like more than 10 years ago. So you can't really get them unless you go looking online for some used ones from some old dairy farm that's selling one, and it's almost impossible. A few years ago we found one in New York, but anyway. So Farmer Joe just kind of rewired some things so the milk goes directly into the bulk tank, which is fine unless there's a cow that you want to save her milk. You just got to be mindful not to put her in that spot because there's no jar to pinch, as we say. Yeah, this is a really old farm. It's a pretty small farm. One of the few old little family dairy farms left in this area. Well, that's what you get for getting up on them. Did I tell you guys? I can't remember a minute ago when we were in the holding pen. Sometimes they act like that when their hormones are out of whack. And she's gonna do that. Alright, so let's clean that poop, and then I gotta go out there and bring down the second half of cows. I told you about that before, right? I mean, not in this video, but in other videos. I don't bring all the cows down at once. I mean, I could, it wouldn't hurt anything. But I feel better having them not all stay in one spot for over 3 hours. So, I bring down half at a time, while the other half is up in the barnyard, playing around with the hay feeder and the water fountains and whatever. So, yeah, milk the first half of cows. We're going to go out, bring down the second half. First, I'm going to clean that poop.
Up, up, up. Many of the fences here, they need repairs. There's just not enough people with enough time here to do that kind of stuff. So sometimes big babies get in here. I know. These are half Highlands, half Holsteins. Sometimes other people around the farm, which I don't usually film, will come in and out of gates to do things in the fields, and we'll let in some critters that aren't supposed to be in with the milk herd. It's not like a catastrophe or the worst thing ever. And eventually someone will sort them out, or if they got in through a hole in the fence or gap in the fence, they'll just go back into the big baby pasture where they're supposed to be. They try to get in with the milk mamas because they think they'll get some extra grain. All of the calves that are weaned off of milk get grain at least at night, and depending on the state of the pasture and how they're acting, I'll give it to them in the morning. God dang it! Do all this with one hand for you guys. Push the like button. I just opened this gate to the milk cow pasture because this is where they hang out during the day. They can go all the way back there, almost as far as the eye can see, and they just go frolic in the field. Now let's open this other gate. It's holding the first half of cows that I milked. And they can go out to the pasture too. So here we are, a little while later, on the last set of cows. And I realized that there's a cow that I already milked and let out that I was going to tell you about. Because there's a big puddle of milk back here. I probably won't show you, you just have to believe me. That new Highland mama is right outside the door where there's the calf barn. That's where her baby is. She's telling her baby that everything's okay and that it's going to have a good breakfast here by me, its new mama, in a minute. Everybody's fine. Everything's fine. Anyway, just in case my future videos aren't, you know, as detailed or... Come on, man. There's some stuff that's wrong with this milker too, like a button doesn't work. so it's a little more comfortable. Put this on, it's different than the other milkers. See, there's no string here. You gotta take it off manually. Everything else works fine, it's just that one's different. What were we talking about? So anyway, future episodes, when I'm trying to fit more than just, you know, one thing in my videos, I'm not going to be explaining all this stuff. You're going to wonder why she just got milk pouring out of 1/4. So I'll tell you right now. I wasn't there to see how she cut the end of her titty off, but somehow she did. It was just hanging on by a thread, had to be cut off. It was awful. It was just a little tip that was dangling. And of course she got infected. We gave her medicine. And it's been a long time since she had like the big visible chunks of the mastitis in it. But because the tip of it's gone, it can't like, you know, close back up. But because the tip of it's gone now, it can't close back up soon after milking like it normally would, which helps keep out bacteria, prevent it from getting mastitis, along with the peroxide titty dip. We test the other 3/4 often, and it always turns out good. It doesn't contaminate the other quarters. I tried to explain before how there's kind of like walls inside the other. So it just stays in at 1/4, so we don't milk it. I still wash it with the peroxide, rub it a little bit to, you know, get it leaking, and then once it breaks that seal, it just drains itself out onto the floor, down the drain. She has green on her, kind of old paint. Her baby's in the calf barn, but is beyond the point of needing colostrum milk still from her, and her milk turned pure white. So it goes into the bulk tank now. Another semi-fresh mama that I was going to show you, but I forgot. Sorry. She's already gone. Maybe you'll see her in a future video. So she's one of the newest mamas, and that calf in the calf barn was the first calf. When she came in here, she only had milk in, so we got to keep her moving, guys. There's a lot of stuff to do. Sit around and chit-chat. I don't think I've ever seen that here before, where a cow just made milk in 2 3/4. It happens from time to time with just 1/4, and that's why you'll see a wide red or yellow band on some of them. And my band-aid's coming off. The commercial farms, or, you know, probably any other farm, if that were to happen, once the calf didn't need her milk anymore, the farm would probably say, we're going to sell her because she's only making like half as what she could. Sometimes I'm surprised Farmer Joe decided to keep her, but he said, well, she's young, she's nice, why not keep her? They're all nice, by the way. It's really hard to keep a thought that I'm trying to tell you guys about, because like every 10 seconds, like something will start to slip off a cow, and it'll suck air and make noise, and you'll have to readjust it or take it off because all 4 quarters don't milk out at the same rate every time. So you gotta. I had her on a manual takeoff because she kept making noises. And sometimes the machine, which, you know, it could be worse, but the machines here are pretty old. And the sensors, if it starts to sense that 1 quarter is empty, and the whole thing will just come off. So you're always having to put the milkers back on. That's probably my #1 annoyance here with this job, is that I can't just like go down the line, get them all cleaned off, get them all put on, and then go work on the other side or do something else while this side's getting done, ready to let out, because you got to keep going back because it's falling off somebody's titty. It could be worse. Yeah, I really do like my job. I really do love this work. So if that's my biggest annoyance, it's not that bad. It doesn't take that much extra time to have to turn around and readjust the milkers and put them back on. I'm not good at explaining all this to you guys. And it takes too long. Chores are taking like twice as long as they usually do, because I don't know if you knew this or not, but getting my camera set up, that's the wrong titty dip. Getting the camera turned on for every scene and getting it readjusted, it takes time. And there's been a few moments today where I just like can't keep a thought, and I was like, no, I got to go back and re-say that. I was just about to tell you how it takes a long time to get my camera set up for every scene, because if I just leave it on for all these hours, the battery will die. And then the gimbal battery died. So I'm going to my charger. It's over here today. I'm going to plug this in, do cleanup. I guess you're not going to see cleanup today. I'm sorry. I thought about it, showing you a few parts, but I had one person comment a long time ago, hey, you should film yourself cleaning all that manure off the walls in the barn. And I was about to be like, yeah, okay, I can do that. Oh, wait, they're trolling me. They're saying my barn's dirty. Yeah, obviously it's dirty. Well, that's a long story. That's a story for another day about what's wrong with my power washer. So, yeah, I'm going to clean the barn. And then I'm going to sit down for a minute and review my footage, and it's probably going to be about an hour of me ranting, and I don't know how I'm going to cut it down to 15 minutes where I can have another 15 minutes to feed calves out there. There's just way too much talking. This is hard, guys. Love making videos, I love filming, but I don't like telling you about everything. So, I'm going to review my footage and make a decision on if this whole video is going to be about ranting with the cattle, and then my next video, we're going to make some bean soup. And then, we're going to feed some calves. Maybe we'll feed calves and then make bean soup in my next video.